In this video, we'll show you how to replace the front control arm on your Ford Edge. This is located in the front of the vehicle and part of the suspension system. Let's get started. With the vehicle raised and supported, we can remove the lug nuts with a 21mm. And we can go ahead and remove the wheel. Using an 18mm socket and a 15mm wrench, we can go ahead and remove the pinch bolt. Now I'm going to use a hammer and strike on the knuckle right on the back side here. You want to be careful not to damage anything in this area though. Now we can pry down on the control arm. I'm using a hook with a pry bar. Now I'm going to hammer on the knuckle. If you need to, you can hammer on the control arm as well. Be very careful when you release the ball joint not to damage anything. At the back of the wheel well, we have two 7mm bolts. We can go ahead and remove those. Moving underneath the engine, we have another 7mm here. And one more towards the back of this metal shield. Now I'm just going to use a strap to secure this back and out of place. At the back of the control arm, we have two 18mm bolts. And towards the front of the control arm, we have a 24mm bolt. I have a jack stand under the hub face of the rotor here. You want to be careful not to damage the pad surface of the rotor. That'll take pressure off of the sway bar. And we can remove the control arm. Start to work the front portion of the control arm in. Get the back portion lined up as well. As you get the control arm into place, you may need to use a dead blow hammer. You want to be very cautious when doing this, not to damage anything. Now I'm going to go ahead and use an awl to help me line this up. Get that first one started in. Once we have all three of the inner bolts in, we can go ahead and snug them down. And we can torque the back two bolts to 122 foot-pounds. And we can torque the front one to 240 foot-pounds. line up the underbody shields. And it's good to get all these screws in before you tighten any one down. Now we can go ahead and snug those down. And we have one more that goes into the metal splash shield under the transmission. We can pry down on the control arm, then we can line up the ball joint in the knuckle, and we'll get that in there. Now we can use a dead blow hammer and whack the bottom of the control arm and get that up into place. You want to be careful while doing this. Now we can get our pinch bolt in. We'll go ahead and get the nut started on. And we can go ahead and snug this down. And we can torque this to 76 foot-pounds. We'll reinstall the wheel. And we can line up the lug studs with the holes in the wheel. I'm going to press in down at the bottom of the wheel, and we can install the lug nuts. I like to thread the first one all the way in, and that'll help hold the wheel in while I put the other lug nuts on. And we'll snug those down in a star pattern. With the vehicle on the ground, we can go ahead and torque these to 162 foot-pounds in a star pattern.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.